we believe that flushing of your irrigation system, that's about 80 to 90% of your maintenance practices. When you look at flushing, it's very important that you flush correctly. And we're also going to show you some tricks to make sure that you have enough flow speed in your dripper lines and then enough pressure to make sure that you get all the dirt out when you're doing these flushing. It doesn't help that you flush if you're not flushing effectively, because you won't get rid of the dirt that can easily come loose. So I'm going to demonstrate here the principles of flushing correctly, because you need pressure. I've got a pressure gauge here, which I'm going to demonstrate now, and I've got a little bucket which I'll use to determine whether I've got enough flushing speed to do it right. So when you're flushing, everybody wants to ask, how long do you flush? And the general idea is to flush until your dripper water starts getting clean. As you can see here, the water starts out dirty, and then you wait for it to get clean. And that depends. Some instances it will be 10 seconds, other instances it can be a minute. So you just have to let the system guide you to see what effectively works. Sometimes what I like to do is I catch some of the water in my hand, and then I inspect for physical particles to see if there's anything that can actually clog the drippers. And most of the dirt accumulates towards the ends of the lines. Obviously with the flushing, most of the dirt comes out fast, and then you generally get the cleaner water towards the end. So here you can see, still dirty. I'm just waiting for it to start getting clean. Sometimes you'll find there's some air still in the pipes, and that causes this squirting action. That is not a problem, because there's still enough flow coming through the lines. Now I can see it's starting to get cleaner. So what I like to do is you will pulse it to build some back pressure and cause a little bit of a shaking action in the dripper pipe, and that initiates the self-cleaning mechanism in the dripper. So this is what you'll do. You'll flush it, and generally what you'll see is after this action, the water starts running dirty again, and then it runs clear. It's not always the case, but that pulsing action helps a lot. Until you see the water is running clear and clean, and then you know that was long enough for that system. You can actually see here it's starting to get a bit dirtier, so I'm going to leave it a bit more. Oh, that's good. Then you're done. You can close it up and move over to the next line. In order to make sure that you are flushing correctly, you need to know that you have enough flow and enough pressure. It's a general rule of thumb, once a month or maybe once in 2 months, to go to a block and check your pressures at the end. So your block should be designed with the Uniram compensated drip. It should compensate anything between 1 bar and 3.5 bar and give that exact delivery. So what you want is to have at least 1 bar at the ends of your drip line. So here I've got a pressure gauge, which I'm going to stick into the line there. As you can see here on the pressure gauge, we've got at least 1.6 bars of pressure. So that indicates to me that there's enough pressure on the ends of the line and my system should be running efficiently. If you find that you do not have at least 1 bar of pressure, that's an indication that there is something wrong in your system, and you need to go and look for, maybe there's some leaks, maybe there's issues with your valves not set in the beginning of the block. So line end pressure, at least 1 bar. If it's less, go and look for some issues on other places. Now I've got this bucket. So the idea is we need enough flow velocity in the pipe in order to flush the dirt particles effectively. What I want to do is, in 12 seconds, I want at least 1 liter of water to run through the pipe. And that will give us an indication how many lines we can open at a time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to catch the water and I'm going to time 12 seconds. Okay, in that 12 seconds, just going to close the line. So what I want to see here is at least 1 liter there, and as you can see we are at about almost 1.1 liters of water, and that indicates to me that the flushing speed is correct. In this instance, you can open another line and see if you still fill a 1 liter within that 12 seconds. Once you don't fill a 1 litre, you're opening too many lines at a time and your flushing is not effective. If you require some more information or some Netafim knowledge, please feel free to contact us. We are available to help you grow more with less in all the areas that you grow and in all the areas that you require us.